He never told anyone this, not his wife, not his barber, not the people who thought they knew him best. Charlie had a code he lived by, and he never said it out loud. If two things cost different amounts, he chose the higher one, every time. Not because it was better, because it felt safer. The higher price told a story about him he needed people to believe. I want to tell you about that code and what it actually cost him. Charlie was 34, sales manager, Atlanta. Good job, better watch, best truck in the parking lot, a leased Mercedes GLE, black on black, paid for every month whether business was good or not. He kept his sneakers rotating. New drop, new pair, paid in 3 installments so nobody had to know it stretched him. At the barber shop, he'd toss his keys on the counter just so the fob would land face up. Nobody asked him to do that. He just always did. $14,400 a year on that lease, and the insurance it required. Another $6,000 on top of that. The drops, the dinners picked, because they'd be noticed, not because they'd be good. $20,000 a year, roughly, spent making sure people saw a version of Charlie that felt true, even when his account did not agree. He didn't think of it as spending. He thought of it as keeping up appearances that were, in his mind, simply accurate. He was doing well. The truck proved it. The shoes proved it. If the proof cost something, that felt like the price of being seen correctly. His cousin Otis worked at a warehouse a few miles away. Same family, same cookouts, same Sunday dinners. Nobody talked about Otis much. He drove an 11-year-old Accord. Same clothes most weekends. Quiet, steady. The kind of relative people were polite to and privately assumed wasn't doing much with his life. Charlie never thought about Otis's money. Why would he? There was nothing to see. That was the whole problem with nothing to see. Nothing to see is exactly what real wealth looks like from the outside. Charlie just didn't know that yet. One Sunday, Charlie's aunt mentioned, almost in passing, that Otis had closed on a house, paid it off in cash, no mortgage, modest place, 3 bedrooms, nothing flashy, but his, completely, at 36 years old. Charlie laughed at first, thought it was a mistake. Then he asked again, and the answer didn't change. That code Charlie had lived by, the higher price, the safer feeling, it came back to him standing in that kitchen, except now it meant something different. The higher price had never been protecting him from anything. It had only been proving he could afford to bleed a little every month in front of an audience that never asked him to. That night, Charlie sat in his own driveway. He didn't go inside right away. He sat in the truck he was still paying for, engine off, hands on the wheel, and did the math he'd been avoiding for years. Lease, insurance, the drops, the dinners. $20,000, give or take, every single year. Money that had gone toward being watched, while Otis's money had gone toward being free. He thought about his daughter, asleep inside, and what he was actually building for her. Not the truck. The truck wasn't hers. He thought about the version of his life where none of this had ever been about being seen. He sat there a long time. Nobody came to get him. No music swelled. He just sat with it, letting it be uncomfortable instead of arguing with it. Then the old voice came, loud and immediate. If you give any of this up, everyone will know it was never real. You'll look like you failed, not like you grew up. Charlie sat with that, too. Then he opened the door, walked inside, and got a pen. He called the dealership Monday morning about ending the lease early. It cost him almost as much to get out as it would have to stay in. Nobody warned you about that part. He kept driving the truck 3 more weeks while he figured it out. Day 2, a co-worker joked about him downgrading, said it loud enough for the break room to hear. Charlie just nodded and let it sit there. Day 5, he skipped a sneaker drop for the first time in over a year. It felt like nothing. It also felt like something. Day 9, he almost went back. A new release dropped, and for 1 full minute, he had his card out. The old voice was right there again. One pair won't undo anything. Nobody will even know. He put the card away anyway, small, quiet. Nobody saw that either. Day 14, he traded the GLE for a paid-off Camry that used to belong to his mother-in-law. Ugly color. Ran fine. Nobody clapped for any of it. That was the strange part. He'd spent years being seen for the truck, and the moment he stopped needing to be seen, almost nobody noticed at all. Except one person did. Otis, at the next cookout, just nodded at the Camry and said, "Good car." 2 words. That was the whole conversation. The version of you people admire is not always the version of you that gets free. The version of you that gets free is usually the one nobody's watching. Charlie still has that Mercedes key fob. Kept it in a drawer, not out of nostalgia, just because he never threw it out. Sometimes he picks it up. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. It's just a piece of metal now. It stopped being a proof of anything the day he stopped needing it to be. There's a hole that opens up every time your income goes up, if you let it. Most people never see it happening. They just wonder later where all those years of raises actually went. If nobody ever told you that the expensive choice isn't always the safe one, maybe nobody needed to. Until now. There are more stories like this one here. Comment below, what's one thing you've bought just to be seen? Subscribe. We tell a new one every week.